Life does not always unfold the way we plan. Sometimes the people we trust the most leave us in ways we never expected. Sometimes love turns into heartbreak and promises fade into silence. But does that mean our story ends there? No. It is in these moments of pain that our true strength is revealed. A broken relationship is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new one. I know what it feels like to be shattered, to look in the mirror and see nothing but broken pieces of who you once were. The loneliness, the emptiness, it feels unbearable. But let me tell you this, you are not broken. You are evolving. Pain has a way of making us believe that everything is falling apart, that life as we know it has ended. When a relationship breaks, the emotional weight feels unbearable, like a storm that refuses to pass. It consumes your mind, your heart, and your soul, making you question your worth and your ability to move forward. But pain is not the end of your story. It is only the beginning of a transformation you never imagined possible. The moment something shatters in your life, it is easy to believe that all hope is lost. You might find yourself trapped in memories, reliving every moment, searching for answers that will never come. You wonder what went wrong, if you could have done something differently, if you were not enough. These thoughts spiral into a darkness that seems endless. But in reality, pain is not there to break you. It is there to awaken you. It strips away the illusions, the false securities, and forces you to confront your deepest fears. It brings you face to face with yourself, with your rawest emotions, and challenges you to rise above them. Growth never happens in comfort. The most profound changes in life are born from moments of great suffering. A broken relationship might feel like the end of love, the end of happiness, but in truth, it is the beginning of something more profound, a journey of self-discovery. It is in these moments of heartache that we learn the most about who we are. We learn about our strength, our resilience, and our ability to stand tall despite the pain. Pain pushes us to seek clarity, to redefine what we truly deserve, and to rebuild ourselves from the inside out. What feels like an unbearable loss today is often the doorway to a new beginning. The pain you feel is not your downfall, it is your transformation. It is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for something greater. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt is adding to your strength, making you wiser, more compassionate, and more powerful than before. You may not see it now, but pain is not the enemy. It is the fire that forges the strongest soul. It is not where your story ends. It is where a new, stronger version of you begins. Wounds are often seen as symbols of pain, reminders of what went wrong, and proof of the battles we have fought. When a relationship breaks, it leaves behind invisible scars, memories that sting, words that echo in our minds, and a heart that feels too heavy to carry. We try to hide these wounds, pretend they do not exist, or rush to heal them as quickly as possible. But in doing so, we miss something important. Our wounds are not just marks of suffering. They are storytellers of our journey. Every wound carries meaning, a lesson, and a deeper understanding of who we are. There is a story behind every tear shed, behind every heartbreak endured. The pain we experience is not just about loss, it is about growth. It is a reminder that we dared to love, that we trusted, that we gave a part of ourselves to another, and though it did not last, it was real. These wounds are proof that we have lived, that we have felt deeply, and that we have survived. They are not signs of weakness, but of courage. Courage to open our hearts, to take risks, and to embrace love, despite knowing it might not last forever. We often look at wounds with shame, thinking they make us less worthy, less whole. But what if we saw them differently? What if we viewed them as marks of wisdom, of strength, of resilience? Instead of running from the past, what if we embraced it? Every scar tells a story of endurance, of overcoming something we once thought would break us. It shows us how far we have come, how much we have learned, and how capable we are of healing. The truth is, healing does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending the past did not happen. It means accepting it as part of our story, as a chapter that shaped us into the person we are today. The wounds we carry are not meant to hold us back. They are meant to guide us forward. They remind us of what we deserve, of what we will never settle for again, and of the strength we never knew we had. When we embrace our wounds instead of hiding them, we transform them from reminders of pain into symbols of survival. They are not the end of our story. They are the proof that we are still writing it. When a relationship breaks, it feels as if a part of us has been taken away. We search for closure in the words that were never said, in the love that was once given, and in the spaces where someone used to be. In the silence that follows, we often look outward, hoping someone else will fill the emptiness left behind. But true healing does not come from another person, nor does it come from time alone. It comes from within. Self-love is not just a remedy for a broken heart, it is the foundation for true healing, the force that rebuilds what was shattered. We are taught to love others deeply, to give endlessly, to be there no matter what. But what happens when that love is not returned? When we pour ourselves into someone who no longer stays? That is when we must ask ourselves, have we given the same love to ourselves? Self-love is not selfish. It is necessary. It is choosing to see our own worth even when someone else fails to recognize it. It is waking up each day and deciding that we are enough, regardless of who chooses to stay or leave. Healing begins the moment we stop seeking validation from those who walked away. It is when we realize that we do not need someone else to complete us because we were never incomplete to begin with. Self-love teaches us that our happiness does not depend on another person's presence, and our worth is not measured by how much we are loved by others. It is measured by how deeply we value ourselves. Loving yourself means setting boundaries, refusing to settle for less than you deserve, and walking away from anything that no longer serves you. It is about being kind to yourself, forgiving yourself for the mistakes you made, and understanding that growth comes from pain. It means treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion you so freely give to others. There is no greater healing than looking in the mirror and loving the person staring back at you. The moment you choose yourself, you begin to heal. Not because someone else has given you closure, but because you have given it to yourself. And when you truly embrace self-love, you realize that no broken relationship has the power to break you. You are whole, you are enough, and you are capable of creating a life filled with love, even if it starts with loving yourself first. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things to offer, especially when the wounds are fresh and the pain still lingers. When a relationship breaks, it often leaves behind resentment, anger, and unanswered questions. We hold onto the past, replaying moments over and over, wondering how things could have been different. We convince ourselves that holding onto the hurt will somehow protect us from being hurt again. But in reality, holding on to pain does not punish the one who hurt us, it only imprisons us in our own suffering. Forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook. It is about setting ourselves free. Many people think forgiveness means excusing someone's behavior, justifying their actions, or pretending the pain never happened. But true forgiveness is not about them, it is about us. It is a gift we give ourselves. It is choosing to release the burden of anger, to no longer allow someone else's actions to control our emotions. Carrying resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. The truth is, they may have moved on, unaware of the pain they caused, while we remain trapped in the past. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean that what happened was okay. It simply means we are choosing peace over pain, freedom over resentment. When we forgive, we take back our power. We stop allowing the past to define our future. We stop carrying a weight that was never meant to be ours forever. Forgiveness does not change what happened, but it changes how we move forward. It gives us the space to heal, to rebuild, and to grow into the person we are meant to be. One of the greatest acts of self-love is to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because we do. Because we deserve to live without bitterness, without the heaviness of grudges, and without the emotional chains that keep us stuck. We cannot change the past, but we can decide how it shapes us. When we choose forgiveness, we choose ourselves. We choose happiness, peace, and the freedom to live without the shadow of someone else's mistake. The moment we release the pain, we step into a new chapter of life, one that is lighter, brighter, and filled with endless possibilities. Pain has a way of making us feel lost, as if everything we once believed in has crumbled. A broken relationship leaves us questioning our worth, our choices, and the future we once imagined. In those moments of suffering, it is easy to believe that pain is nothing more than a punishment, something unfair and unbearable. But pain is not meant to destroy us. It is meant to shape us. It carries within it a hidden power, a lesson, and a purpose that can transform us if we allow it. When we go through heartbreak, the initial instinct is to retreat into darkness, to let sadness consume us. We drown in regret, in memories, in the weight of what could have been. But what if we changed our perspective? What if, instead of seeing pain as the end, we saw it as the beginning of something greater? Every wound, every hardship, every loss has the potential to be turned into something meaningful. Pain is the fire that refines us, the storm that clears the way for new growth. It is in our deepest suffering that we often find our true strength, our purpose, and our ability to impact the world in ways we never imagined. The most powerful people in the world are not those who have never suffered, but those who have taken their pain and turned it into something bigger than themselves. They have used their experiences to inspire, to help, to create, and to change lives. Your heartbreak, your struggles, they are not meaningless. They hold the power to guide you toward something greater. Maybe your pain is meant to teach you resilience, to show you that you are capable of rising again. Maybe it is meant to give you a story that will help someone else who is walking through the same darkness. Purpose is not always something we find, it is something we create. And sometimes it is born from the very moments we wish we never had to experience. Instead of letting pain make you bitter, let it make you better. Let it push you forward instead of holding you back. Use it to fuel your growth, to build something meaningful, to become the strongest version of yourself. When you choose to turn your pain into purpose, you take control of your story. You prove that even the deepest wounds can lead to the most beautiful transformation. When life shatters in front of us, when a relationship ends, when the person we thought would stay forever walks away, it feels as if the world has stopped moving. In those moments, it is hard to believe that anything good can come after such heartbreak. The pain is overwhelming, the loneliness unbearable, and the future seems empty. But what if I told you that this is not the end? What if I told you that the best part of your life has not even begun yet? Because it hasn't. The best is yet to come. It is easy to think that happiness existed only in the past, that the love you lost was the greatest love you would ever experience. But life does not work that way. Every ending is a doorway to something new, something better. The pain you feel today is not a sign that your best days are behind you. It is proof that you are being prepared for something greater. Growth happens in the most unexpected ways, and sometimes life has to take something away to make space for something even more beautiful. Heartbreak teaches us lessons we would never learn in comfort. It forces us to reflect, to grow, to rediscover parts of ourselves that we may have lost in the process of loving someone else. It gives us the chance to rebuild, to recreate our lives with a stronger foundation. And when we do, we attract people, experiences, and opportunities that align with the new version of us. Every storm eventually passes, and when it does, it leaves behind clear skies. What lies ahead is beyond what you can imagine. There will be moments of joy that make you forget the pain ever existed. There will be love that feels effortless, friendships that lift you higher, and opportunities that will make you grateful for everything you endured. You will wake up one day and realize that the person you became is someone you admire, someone who survived, someone who thrived despite everything. So do not let one chapter define your entire story. Do not believe that what you lost was the best you could ever have. The universe has a way of bringing people and experiences into our lives when we least expect them. Keep going, keep believing. Your heart will heal, your soul will shine, and one day you will look back and understand why this had to happen, because the best is yet to come. So hold on a little longer. Trust that life is not taking from you, but making space for something greater. You are not meant to live in the shadow of your past. You are meant to rise, to heal, and to step into a future filled with possibilities you have yet to see. One day you will look back and realize that what once felt like the end was actually the beginning of something extraordinary. Keep moving forward, because the best is not behind you, it is still ahead, waiting for you to step into it.